Deciphering the End Times. The program Deciphering the End Times. I'm Pastor Rick Winter, and I am so glad to have you joining me tonight for this awesome program, Deciphering the End Time. Deciphering the End Time is your weekly end time discussion podcast right here on my YouTube channel, Rick Winter Ministry. And I will be continuing on the discussions we have been having over the past couple of weeks, looking at the whole situation of the various views of the rapture. And I'm not quite through with that yet. I'm still waiting on a guest that I've been speaking with to join me as he will talk about pre-tribulation rapture. But tonight, I'll be, as the topic on the screen saying, I'll be looking on the whole situation of the resurrection and the last trump, because it's very critical that we understand. And I like to lay out the information, giving you in a balanced way. All right. To this evening, my base topic, my base passage is Matthew 24. And Matthew 24 was Jesus's discussion with his disciples on the Mount of Olives. Before I go further with that, what I want to say as it relates to the Mount of Olives, many Jews believe that when the Lord returns, that the Mount of Olives is where he will return. Now, that confirms scripture. Before I get to the scriptures, just a Jewish tradition or practice. There is a cemetery in Mount of Olives, and many Jews, based on all that I've read, wants to be buried in the cemetery in the Mount of Olives because they don't want to miss out or to be the last to hear the trumpet because of where the Lord will return. Now, it's interesting, isn't it? But let's go to the scripture as it relates to that particular. Acts chapter 1, between verse 6 and verse 8. Jesus, after his resurrection, he was talking to his disciples, and he was taken up from them at the Mount of Olives, because later you read that they journeyed from Mount of Olives, a Sabbath day's journey, to the upper room. So he was taken, he ascended to heaven from the Mount of Olives. Now, when you go to Zechariah chapter 14, in Zechariah chapter 14, verse 4, it says, "And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem in the east, and the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof." What did the angels confirm in Acts chapter 1? He said, "You men of Galilee, why gaze ye up into heaven? The same Jesus that was taken from you will return in like manner." Zechariah 14 verse 4 is confirming what the angels have said. Just had to lay that groundwork there. But now, as it relates to the resurrection and the last trumpet, Matthew 24. Matthew 24, I'll start at verse 27. For as lightning comes out of the east and shines unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will be the eagles to be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of darkness shall be shaken. Then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet. So here we have the trumpet. And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. What will the angels do? The sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven. All the tribes of the earth will mourn. They will see him coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the ends of the earth. Now, there's a book I'm working on as it relates to the parable of the wheat and tares, because of a revelation I had one morning when I was awoken from sleep. Now, while I won't get in the book, I've never read in all my years of reading scriptures, and Matthew is one of my favorite books to read. In all of my years of reading scriptures, I've never seen the parable of wheat and tares relating to eschatology. I've never. But about 3 years ago, I had that revelation, and I was really blown away. Give you a synopsis of what the book will contain. It is showing me, the parable of the wheat and tares is basically showing the distinction between the sons of the kingdom and the sons of the evil one. That parable shows that. Traditionally, the church sees the parable of the wheat and tares